Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for Government 100 for October 28th. It is almost Halloween, so that's later this week. I hope you all have a nice week with lots of candy, if you like candy. Anyway, so this is a technology that I'm kind of trying out. This is called Screencastify, and it lets me talk to you and also share my screen with you. So, see, you can see my cursor moving around there. And I'm just going to try this out, and I'd like you to give me comments and let me know what you think of this technology, if it's helpful for you. Okay, so first thing, I know you just turned in your papers, your written assignment about the federal courts. So I will start working on grading those papers this week. And I'll try to get through all of them this week, but I actually have a few classes that have turned in papers in the last 24 hours. So it's going to be a heavy grading period for me. So if I bleed into next week, that might happen. But at any rate, I will get started on those papers. And then, secondly, you are going to move into Module 11. So, and this is where I'm at on my screen here. So this is, you should recognize this, the modules page. And every time you come to our class, after you are at our home page, you should go to modules right there. Okay, so then you scroll down, and we are on module 11. So module 11 is on public opinion and the media. And I have a nice page here, overview page. So of course, this is where you go next. You can see what you're supposed to do. And if this is like really basic and why am I doing this at this point in time, I just want to reiterate that it's very important to go through the modules in our class. Okay, so I highly encourage you to read all of this, the overview, the objectives for the course that the module covers, our module objectives, and you can see that they are: one, to define public opinion in the final exam; two, identify major factors that shape an individual's political preferences and beliefs in the final exam; three, discuss the news media's role in the United States and how the media affect political knowledge and public opinion in a discussion; and four, discuss the impact of a politically uninformed public on democracy in a discussion. All right, so this subject is a big subject. I mean, there could be a whole class just on this. And we're just going to spend 1 week on it. So what I've decided to do is, first of all, read chapter 9 that covers the material in our textbook, and then also read my commentary. And I hope you're reading my commentaries, because those are where I try to kind of boil down some of the main points of the book for you. So those can be very helpful when you're preparing for the exam, or getting an overview of the material. Then we're going to focus on this article that is from the Pew Research Center. They are a nonpartisan, really nonpartisan research center that does research into American politics, journalism, and people's opinions about political issues. So I found a study that they did this past summer on what Americans think about made up news. Okay, so you've probably heard the term fake news. We're going to call it made up news. Okay, for our class. All right, so then I'm just going to go. Actually, then what you want to do is, here, let me move my picture. Hit the next button. Okay, hit the next button. All right, and there's my commentary. Okay, look at that. All right, I work really hard on that, so read that because that'll help you. Okay, then again, this is, my computer's slow. All right, so there's a practice quiz. Okay, so make sure you do your practice quiz so that you can move on to the rest of the module, or to the next module. All right, here's the article that we're going to look at. Then you just click there, and there it is. Okay, so this is the Pew Research Center. This is their branch that looks at journalism and the media. And so, what I want you to do is, after you read the chapter in the book, chapter 9, add my commentary, then read this article. Okay, so it's quite interesting. Look at these graphs, and you can see what Americans think about made up news, who they fault for made up news, and what they do about it. And that's really where I want to focus, um, is what do we do about it? And what are the consequences of having this made up news? And one thing, made up news is nothing new. Okay, this has been going on for a long time. You can go all the way back. Well, I'll go back to 1898 when the United States was thinking about declaring war on Spain. Uh, and the news media did a lot to try to stir up public opinion about that issue. And not all of it was factual. Okay, so this is nothing new. Don't think that this is a recent development. Okay, so then the discussion, excuse me, the discussion question will focus uh, on this issue. Okay. So, oh yeah, and don't forget, read the instructions for completing discussions. Okay, I know you maybe know them by memory by now, but it's always good to review those. That's why I have that page there in the module. Okay, and there's our discussion. So these are the questions. According to the Pew Research Center article, which is titled Many Americans Say Made Up News is a Critical Problem That Needs to Be Fixed, what do many Americans say about the spread of made up news? Okay, so that's from the article. And when you write about that, it's okay to paraphrase what the article says. Try not to just throw in quotes there and then leave it there. Okay, you need to have some kind of discussion. 2, what is the biggest impact made up news has on our democratic system? And 3, what do you think? What do you do to respond to a story that appears to be made up news? Why is it important to act? Okay, so those are the discussion questions for this week. And as always, this will be due, I believe, on Friday. Let me see. I always get mixed up. I've got 5 classes, so I have to keep track of everyone's. Okay, October 30th. This will be due October 30th. Oh, sorry. That's our due date. October 30th is the due date. All right, so you want to make sure you post your response then, and then get your 2 replies in before Friday. That is 48 hours later. Okay, so this is an important issue. I also want to share with you, this is interesting. Where is it? Okay, so this is a podcast that I listened to yesterday when I was taking a walk. And it's really interesting. It's 42 minutes, but it's from NPR. And it's called Screaming into the Void: How Outrage is Hijacking Our Cultures and Our Minds. And what it's about is how, I mean, on social media, how outrage drives people's responses and participation and behaviors in social media, and how that affects our minds, and how it kind of has a system of rewards, which is really a little frightening. So I don't know how many of you, are active on social media and get into conversations about politics on social media, but I really encourage you to listen to this podcast, because I think it's just really fascinating. So, okay, well, I better stop this video announcement now, because the software is going to cut me off after a little while. So that's what we're doing for this week. Keep up the good work. If you have questions, make sure that you contact me. Okay? And I hope you all have a good week and a happy and safe Halloween. Bye. Okay, I don't know how to stop the recording. That's funny.